The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. My name is Leo Connors and I'm your host. And tonight I got a very special guest, pro wrestler Derrick Conway.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Thanks for having me on.
Time, right?
Yeah,
we were supposed to do this like a year ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was telling people today we've been trying to get this going for a year and a half.
And here we are.
Yeah, finally.
And I just told you before the cameras came on, it goes by wicked fast.
Yeah, clock's ticking.
All right, so let's start. Where'd you grow up, Derrick?
I was born in Salem, Massachusetts. When I was about 2 or 3, we moved to Derry, New Hampshire, which is right up the road, and I was there up until probably like 5-6 years ago. Okay. Now I'm right outside Boston.
All right. When did you first see pro wrestling?
My dad liked to joke that it was as soon as I was out of the womb. Yeah. He had Raw or something on.
Did he like it?
Oh, his whole side of the family, and cool. If you ever go to one of the Beverly shows, they're screaming my name no matter what. Nice. But it was very young.
Right.
I remember going to pay-per-views at my mom's friend's house down the street, and I got to watch the beginning, and then I had to go to bed.
Yeah.
And by go to bed, I mean pretend like I fell asleep and kind of sneak down the hallway to catch some of it. But it was early WWF stuff, so.
Nice. All right, so seeing your family was into it, my next question was, were your friends or family into it? What about friends when you got older into school?
Growing up, it was weird because growing up in the 90s, it was when the Attitude Era started.
Right.
But I was more of a WCW kid growing up.
Okay.
Because that's what my dad would watch.
Right.
But he would record Raw, and he would watch it later. So I grew up the first hour of WCW, which kind of influenced me later on. But I would try to talk to that, and the kids in my school, I had to find them. I had to go look for them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's not growing up, but later on, it got more and more.
Yep.
And it was weird because I would just say something or like I'd have something, and it would just be like wrestling,
right?
And you're like, yeah, and then it's just instant friendship from there. But you had to like look for it.
Yeah.
So because I was never one of those kids that liked I don't like somebody's face on my t-shirts. Yep. So it was hard as a kid having t-shirts for wrestling,
right?
Because they always had the faces on it, and that was where the money was.
Yep.
That's what they tell you the money is. So I never bought merch till much later,
right? Because
it didn't have somebody's face on it. I don't know. It was always weird to me for some reason.
When I grew up, I graduated in the early 80s. I'm old, and like it was like hard to find people that were wrestling because people kind of made me feel like I was dumb to watch wrestling 100%. Back then.
Right.
But then once I found a few and showed them, all of a sudden, I was accepted.
Right. And that was the other thing too in high school is like I had to like drag my girlfriend at the time and like some of my other friends to go to a show.
Right.
In Derry because I was so ecstatic that I had to drag them, and once the show started, it was like we were all watching wrestling since we were kids. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's one of those things that once you're in it, you don't want to leave it.
Right. It's a lot of fun going to
a live show. Live shows are different.
Young,
yeah, especially when you're they're different than TV. Right. They're much different.
All right. Who were some of your favorites at the beginning?
Dean Malenko. Jericho, Guerrero, Psycho.
You like the small guys.
WCW cruiserweights. Yep. If you were a WCW cruiserweight, that's who I was into.
Nice.
And Glacier.
You like him too?
I loved Glacier.
A lot of people like him.
I love Glacier, man.
Out now, but I didn't think he had many fans.
Right.
A lot of people did.
And I felt like I was the only one sometimes because he had such a cool entrance. Yeah. And I wasn't really a Mortal Kombat kid. Right. I was more Primal Instinct.
Yep.
Killer Instinct. His whole entrance, and then when he put his hand up and the snow would fall, he was cool. He was cool for me as a kid growing up doing karate. I loved Glacier, but for me mostly, like I said, it was that first hour of WCW that was all cruiserweights, I didn't care about the NWO growing up. I didn't care about
Right.
Hogan. I was cruiserweight.
Right. You like the action
Right.
guys.
Right. And then later seeing Raven, because that era of music, that grunge music,
Right.
Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, all them I loved. So Raven and the Flock was another one for me.
Right.
But it was mostly Dean Malenko and all those. And then later on when they would bring in Ultimo Dragon and Jushin Thunder Liger, and then later on kind of seeing Muda in WCW too. So that's where like my love of Japan started to come
Right.
from. So it
That's
was mostly those cruiserweights, but mainly Dean Malenko.
Nice. I love that you say Glacier though, because honestly, I've heard like in shooting interviews how great of a guy he is.
Yeah.
And he must be because he became best friends with Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, and
I mean, they were,
he was
like,
a,
so
he was a
close.
he was a gym teacher, I think it was, right after WCW,
Right.
until Cody brought him back,
Yeah.
or some say Joey Janela because of the spring break
Oh
shows.
yeah, that's right. I forgot that he did.
Yeah.
Now is Glacier working for AEW right now?
I don't
He
know.
must be.
I don't know.
Probably is.
I know he's part of the Nightmare family, but
cool.
he might be he might be one of their coaches. But,
right. Producer or
right,
whatever.
something.
Yeah.
He has some type of job probably.
That's pretty cool. When did you know you wanted to be a wrestler?
When I was young,
Yeah.
it was weird because it was just like no, I can do that. I was just like that's what I want to do.
Right.
It was weird because growing up they're like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it's just like police officer, football
Yep.
player, whatever. And I was just like, I never had an answer. And then I just started to say wrestling because that's what I started to watch all
Yeah.
the time. And Power Ranger or Beetleborg wasn't really an option at the
Right,
time. You know what
right.
I mean? So it was mostly wrestling. It was very young because it was just something that I knew I could do.
Right.
And it felt realistic to me too.
Yep.
Just from very young, I was like, I like space. My dad's big into aliens and UFOs, so
Okay.
I like that, but I don't want to go there.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't. Cop just doesn't sound like a job I want to do. I don't like fire, so I'm not going to be a firefighter.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm okay at backyard football. I put pads on, I probably suck. You know what I mean? So wrestling seemed the most
Right.
obtainable at a young age.
Nice. I like how you said that though, like they had asked you in school, because my girlfriend's cousin is a teacher, but one of her students was Ivar,
Right.
Handsome Johnny,
Right, yeah,
Todd
yeah.
Smith. And when in the 10th grade, she had the kids do that, and he wrote a pro wrestler.
Right.
And when I met her, she asked me if I knew who he was.
Right.
It was just amazing. It's
Oh, yeah.
just cool that you had the same dream that he
Right,
did.
exactly, yeah.
Okay. Now I have to ask, before I ask my next question, you got your start in WAW.
Right.
How did you get your start there?
I met Chad Epic at a
Okay.
local comic book card store. It's called Double Midnight Comics in Manchester. I had gone off I think it might have been a Friday. I don't remember the day
Right.
specifically, but I had I don't know if you remember, it was the bright yellow CM Punk shirt.
Oh, yeah.
My sister had bought it. I had taken it for whatever reason. And I had walked in the store with a buddy of mine. I forget who it was, but we just went to go play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
And Chad was just sitting at the table and he goes, "You like wrestling?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Sit down." And then
Nice.
Chad gave the Chad spiel.
Yep.
It's changed over the years,
Yeah.
but it was the Chad spiel. And I was just like, my friend was just like, "I like wrestling, but I don't want to do it." I was just like, "Yeah, I'll check it out." And I watched a few videos on YouTube, and then I was just like, I kind of put it off a little bit,
Right.
Because that was my first time meeting Chad, and I
Okay.
hadn't seen Chad since.
Right.
So I found the website, I found a few YouTube videos, and I was just like, let me think about it.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? Because
Yeah.
it looked like it was, because by that time I had done 2 one-day fantasy camps at Chaotic.
Oh, nice.
So I
did not know you did
Yeah,
that. That's cool.
I did. I've probably done 3 in total.
Cool.
But very early on, I had done 2 at that point.
Right.
So I had gotten a feel for hitting the ropes, bumping, back bumps, flip bumps, because they're very good at just, this is the basics.
Right.
Running the ropes, tie ups,
Yep.
bumps. That's it.
Yeah,
Nothing
they don't
more.
want anyone getting hurt on a
Right,
fantasy
exactly,
camp.
yeah. So I had gotten a feel for what a ring feels like,
Right.
and gotten that in my system. So I knew everything felt comfortable.
Yeah.
It was very comfortable from the get-go. So after probably a month or two, I had sent in my application, I guess, and had gone to a training day
Nice.
for them. So
Okay. Now, so you started there. We're just going to jump right into tell us how you ended up leaving. Because I was told to ask you this by mutual friend of ours, Todd Gray.
yeah,
So tell us how you leaving, and then afterwards, when you finish that part, but who was the first promoter to stop booking you? But how did you end up leaving there?
so what had happened was Chad. Everyone can blame my wrestling career on Chad, really.
Okay.
So if you don't like me, blame Chad. What had happened was Chad had started to look elsewhere and started to dip his foot in other places. And he got in contact with this guy. I forget his last name.
Okay.
But his name's Adam. He ran Nova Promotions.
Okay. Not Adam Nessel, right?
No.
Okay.
He lives in Maine.
Okay.
He had run Nova, and they were putting on. Todd's told the story, but they were putting on the Zarba Cup. So Chad needed a few people. So I was one of the people along with Delilah, and so that started to get me out there, and then it was just WAW had borrowed XWA's ring for a show. And Mike Antonucci said if anybody wants to come down for a show and help out, come down. I was the only one that went down, and then
for you.
so I not early on, because I was probably 5 years in of WAW, but I had been dipping my toe in the independent circuit a little bit with help of Chad and like I said, Mike Antonucci for going down to XWA shows.
Right.
So, so I had always been doing both.
Yep.
And then it just got to a point where I know Delilah went into it on her show, but I was already kind of out the door, like mentally.
Right.
Then I was helping out there, and I was starting to not enjoy being there because of people there and just the environment that was being grown there. So it just played out when everybody else left. I was like, well, all my friends are leaving. I have no reason to be here.
Yeah.
So it was just an easy transition for me. It was still tough because I had grown up there. You know what I mean?
Of course.
But it might have been a little bit easier than someone like Delilah, who has put so much into it.
Right.
So it was. I knew her and I and a few others would be fine leaving there.
Yep.
So I was very confident leaving there and being able to get back on my 2 feet. And I did until everything hit the fan, you know what I mean? So, but for me personally, it was just, I felt like I did everything I could do there.
Right.
I won every championship multiple times. There's some things that I've done in that company that I'm the only one to do them.
Nice.
Their WrestleMania, they call it Legacy.
Yeah, right.
I'm the only person in that company to win a championship, win every championship on that day.
Oh, nice.
So
at all the legacy shows.
Yeah, I won the WAW championship, the pure title, the team titles, and they did this thing which I thought was very cool. Every special, which was their pay-per-views essentially, they had a match that was that special's match. So like the legacy match.
Oh, okay.
And you win that, you become number one contender for the next month. You know what I mean? So, and I won the legacy championship 4 consecutive years at Legacy. I'm the only person to do that in the company. So after that, in a few years and getting a team title with my best friend, like in that company, I just felt like I was starting to give back to the company and help the people that were going in as best I could.
Right.
But I had felt like I had done everything I could do there. There was nothing left for me to do there.
Right.
And
everyone was leaving too.
Right, exactly. And that's why I was just about to say everything kind of lined up.
Right.
Not ideally, obviously, because you don't want to feel like you have to force yourself out of or make an ultimatum to get you to leave a company. But it just kind of, the stars aligned in not the best way, but that's just, they just aligned.
But it's nice that Mike Antonucci, though, you know what I mean, was having you come down and stuff. That's really is good for someone coming from there, because a lot of guys looked at that negatively.
Right,
so
exactly.
That was really cool that you got to have him.
I did a lot of tech for him.
Yep.
He had usually, you know, Tanya, the girl who does the camera for
Tanya, Cornell.
Yeah. She usually did the XWA camera.
She's really good. She does.
She's amazing. But they did a cage match. It was Chris Dickinson and I think it might have been Brian Malonis.
Okay.
Or it might have been Handsome Johnny. I'm not sure.
Either one of them, that would have been a heck of a match. Either way.
But I don't know I don't know if Mike didn't want her in the cage or she didn't want to. I'm not sure, but I did the camera for that cage match there.
Oh, cool.
She might have been on the outside, actually. I know I was
in. She has a bad back or something, too, so maybe she didn't want to be
I was
in the ring.
inside the cage
for
that match, so I had done camera work for him. I'd done music.
Yep.
He put me in a few of the XWA Rumbles, and there was another, not in the specific Rumble show, but there was another Rumble that I was in for, like, that he put me into. So him and Jose like helped me, like, when I was there. So they helped. It's hard to, you can learn a lot in a Rumble, but they're also very hard to kind of critique.
Right.
Because after your first like 10, 15 seconds where you're bumping everybody, you kind of get lost in the shuffle until you're in the final maybe 10, you know what I mean?
Something like that. 6.
So,
I think you might write 6, 4, whatever,
So when there was advice to give me, they did. When Nova or any MWA or Proving Ground would run in the XWA building, I would always go up to Jose or Mike and ask them what they would like or didn't like. Jose, and they were both really good at giving me what they didn't like, which I like better than good match. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And Jose, I don't really know Mike too well at all. You know what I mean? I know who he is. But I've known Jose a long time. Great guy, man. Great guy to give you advice.
Oh, yeah. Jose.
He's phenomenal.
Right. When Jose talked, I listened very well.
Yeah. I mean, not only just in wrestling, but just out of wrestling. He's just a great person with a great family.
Yeah.
All right. So, like, Mike was the first guy to use you.
Right. Yeah.
Who else who used you after that?
So, Mike, because I went down to XWA, Mike used me. I did 1 or 2 shows for I think it's New England Extreme Wrestling or something like that.
Oh, New World Extreme.
Thank you. Yes.
Jimmy Allen.
Yeah.
Trooper Gilmore.
Right.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I did 1 or 2 shows for him.
Nice guy too.
Yeah, he can be.
Yes.
Yeah. He's been nice to me.
Right.
But other than that, it was mostly Nova. But the biggest one outside of Simonetti has been Brickhouse Baker.
Yep.
I did a few shows for SPW as well.
Showcase program.
Yeah, Showcase.
Okay. Is that Chris Blackheart?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was.
Sure.
I knew it as Blackheart's building.
Okay.
And I did 1 or 2 days of their training. One was for a Rumble.
Yep.
And one was just general and that. So, but it was mostly Brickhouse.
Right.
I did a lot of shows for Brickhouse.
Nice.
So Brickhouse and really MAW.
Yep.
Those were really the 2 I used. I did a lot outside of Proving Ground.
Right.
Brickhouse was so welcoming right off the bat. It felt like everyone on the roster knew you for 5 years already.
That's
you know
great.
what I mean? So it was mostly Proving Ground and Brickhouse.
Okay.
That's Brickhouse awesome. Was fun shows. That was a fun locker room.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, I can guarantee, I know exactly what you mean, because when I first met Brickhouse, it was like I've known him forever.
Right. Yeah.
You know, same thing with his son.
Yeah.
When he was here, I'd only met him like once or twice for 10 minutes. But once he sat here, when the show was over, I felt like I knew him forever.
Oh yeah.
You know. Let's do some fan questions.
Yeah, go for it.
Joey Gilmartin wants to know. So, who would you say, if you had to just pick 1 or 2 guys, who is your trainer? Now,
like,
or you learn the most from, or whatever.
It was Rob Vituli and Brickhouse Baker.
I know both guys.
Yeah,
Good guys.
Yeah, very good guys. So Rob Vituli in WAW.
Yep.
There was a few other people in there that really helped.
Right.
Alex Jason and Chris Shady. But once I started to expand from there and leave there, it was a lot of Brick House. It was
Nice.
Brick House and like Jose gave me a lot too.
Yep.
But Brick House after every match would walk you through the match you just had and help you and give you just everything he knew. And I say for no reason.
Yeah.
Because I never feel like anybody has to feels the need to
that,
give
right.
you the advice.
Right.
He just wants to give it
Yeah.
to you.
He probably figured, that you had been trained a lot.
Right.
And if you're going to work for shows, he's going to help you.
Yeah.
And that's just the type of guy he is. Who helped you more in the ring? Like, guys, maybe you had wrestled, right?
Right.
Like, when you had done the match, you were like, wow, I learned
Right.
a lot there. Anyone that sticks out in mind?
So in WAW I just said his name, but it was Chris Shady.
Okay.
He was the biggest star in that company.
Okay.
And it saddens me he never expanded because
Right.
I think he could be he had instant charisma, like wrestling with him. I learned a lot in the ring, character wise, just watching his entrance
Yep.
and just watching how he puts matches together and helps you understand everything.
Okay.
There's a lot of people in that company that was mentally knew how to put a match together
Yep.
well.
Right.
Some of Chad's guys like Richard Ripley, he was very smart in the ring for somebody who barely ever watches wrestling. But once I left there in the ring, it was Derrick Simonetti because he knew how to tell a story.
Yep.
And then
you've wrestled him a lot.
yeah,
too, right?
because
So you guys are good friends.
right. So, but even like when we first, like our first interaction in not knowing each other,
Right.
Like I still walked away with a different view on how to put a comedy match together.
Right.
Because it wasn't full comedy, but it was there. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah,
so
little spots. comedy
right,
spots.
exactly. And,
I love that in wrestling.
Yeah.
I do. I love everything about wrestling.
Right. So there was that. It's hard because it's a lot of different people.
Yep.
And my memory's not that great. But there was a lot of times where it was after the fact.
Right.
You know what I mean?
After the match, and you guys
right,
were talking about
exactly.
things. Okay.
But when it came to in-ring stuff, it was Shady. It was Simonetti.
Yep.
Then Dick Lane too. Like
Yep.
putting a match together with Dick Lane was changing because it was mind changing because he likes to have fun,
Right.
and likes to, but also put on an amazing match,
Right.
So, and the way his mind works is I've never heard before from
Really?
anybody. Yeah, it's crazy. Because he's like me and just thinks of matches all the time.
Right. Right.
So when he comes to you and he has these spots for you, and you're like, I never thought you could even do that.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And
He's coming on in a few weeks.
Oh, that's gonna be a great show. But Lumberjake, I haven't wrestled him a lot,
Yep.
but he when I have been in the ring with him, it's been helpful.
Nice. He's been around a while too.
Yeah,
So that helps.
Right, exactly. So there's a few people that I've only been in the ring with once, and
Yep.
they have taught me stuff, like Chris Pyro, Dan Terry.
Yep.
So-
Guys in the name.
Yeah,
Got him written down.
but there's a lot of people that like have been one-offs.
Yeah.
That I walk away from, and I'm very much a more physical learner than a visual learner.
Gotcha.
I need to be able to. I need to do it.
Right.
I can see it.
Yeah.
And then I need to do it.
Yeah.
I can't see it and understand it. You know what I'm saying?
You understand it more after you do it.
Right. Exactly. Like you can show me how to do a drop kick 8 different ways.
Right.
But I'll remember them if I do them the 8 different ways.
Yeah.
So
Nice. Okay. Next question is from Brickhouse Baker. If you have a certain worker that you haven't worked yet, who would be on the top of the list to work?
I haven't worked.
Yeah.
I haven't worked with AJP too much.
Right.
We did a
Talented kid.
very talented. We did We did a 6-pack. A 6-person match elimination in Maine once. I haven't, but I think that was really it. There's a few people from Pennsylvania that I met once or twice that I gotten to know that I haven't, that we've talked about stepping in the ring, but we haven't. And the names are escaping me now because I'm trying to think about them.
That's all right.
I didn't get to step in the ring with AG at the time, but he was somebody I would like to.
Right.
Because his journey is crazy.
Yeah.
And he knows a lot. I did one of his seminars.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, where did you do that one? Where was that
that
seminar?
one was for, I think that one was for MAW, I believe it was. But I could be wrong about that. I know it was in that chop shop.
Right.
I think he did one before Proving Ground as well.
Very talented.
Yeah, extremely. Tony Spencer and I only had one match.
Yep.
He's somebody else I would like to face.
Did you ever end up getting in the ring with Brickhouse?
Not in a match.
Right.
There was one time it was one of the throwback shows, and me and Chad it was me, Crispin Coles, with Chad as our manager against Nick Steele and Sweet Scott Ashworth.
Wow.
And Sweet Scott showed in with 30 seconds. He came through the door, hit the DDT. That was it, and then that was the show was over.
Right.
But after that match, all the veterans came in.
Yep.
And it was just a beatdown of me and Chad for a little bit. So that's the one time I got into the ring with Brickhouse.
Right.
And what's funny about that is I've just gotten chopped by almost everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm selling, and then I guess Brickhouse just grabbed Chad and went, "Take a spine buster," and Chad just went, "What?" and got thrown off, and then took a spine buster. And if you know anything about Chad, he has no knees.
Right.
So
wow. You were in the ring though with the late great Nick Steele.
Yeah.
Unreal. That was great,
that
man.
was a one-time thing.
Right.
That was just, again, it was the only time I really like nerded out after the match. I was like, I need a picture.
Yeah.
And because I was just like, this is never going to happen again. I've watched Nick Steele a bunch before. So that was good. And that was another learning experience. You know what I mean?
It's great that you got that picture. What happened, afterwards.
Right.
Scott Ashworth's so well known around. He's a legend around here.
He's such a character too.
I've never really had any interaction, but a lot of people do his imitation of him. Can you by chance?
No,
because it's so wacky.
I'm too sober.
Sonny did one for. I went out Saturday night with him, and he was doing it for me the other night, and it was fantastic. All right. Well, the next question we got from Richard Knight. Where do you see yourself in 5 years in the future, and what pushes you to get there? Great question.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, oh, great. He's always one that makes me think. He's wrestling he was wrestling out in California.
Oh, nice.
And we've wrestled a few times, but.
Now he's from around here.
Yeah,
originally?
he's from Nashua, and he's moved. Actually, he's from up north.
Okay.
But I'd like to be. I know Proving Ground only has one title right now, but right now they're my focus.
Yep.
So Proving Ground champion whenever Proving Ground kicks back up again.
Right.
And any other title they introduce, I want.
Okay.
Proving Ground is something to me that, because I've been there since its beginning.
Right.
I just want to.
You're a big part of it.
Right, exactly. And it's just something I want to help keep growing and do what I can for it. And at the same time, it's a little selfish, but I want it to show me the love back. And I feel like I know Ric Flair and Triple H have said it, where the man makes the title doesn't make the man.
Right.
And there's an argument for each side of that.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I always believe that if a company's giving you a title, they show faith in you, they believe in you, they respect you, and that's and I feel that already from Proving Ground, but it's different with a title in your hand, if that makes sense.
Right. No, it definitely makes sense.
So that's where I see myself in the 5 years in the business.
Okay.
Real life, personal life, it's different. It's house, kids, and family. You know what I mean?
Well, I have a feeling that it's something going to be good about Proving Ground because Todd Graham's coming on here and he told me he has a big announcement to make. So he's going to be on here in a few weeks. So hopefully
it's something good.
Up and he can become the champion.
Yeah, that's the hope.
That'd be great.
Because right now, as far as I know, it's still me and Montero in the cage. That's as far as I know.
Another talented kid.
I've learned so much.
I bet.
That's. I wrestled him. The first time I wrestled him was on the Steve's birthday show.
Okay.
And I was so nervous because I saw him in at Beyond shows and do Beyond
he's very
staff.
Talented.
And
you must have been nervous.
So
he's good.
Yeah, I was very nervous. And then just to wrestle him and get to know him and work with him as much as I have, he's helped so much.
Yeah.
So
cool. Next question is from Destro. Dave Elafontaine. Very good friend of this show. He shares all the
good
posts
friend
and
of mine. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, Dave. When things get back to normal, will we see Conway attempt to reclaim the Bay State Championship?
It got stolen from me.
Who stole it?
Tony Spencer.
That weasel.
Tough talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
he's been here.
Yeah, I'd like to beat him with some Lucky Charms and maybe an Irish soap in his mouth again. But
do me a favor, if you get him in the ring, take his shoe off and hit him in the head because he did that to me here. So take his shoe off and hit him real hard in the head.
You got it.
All right.
I'll put some tax on my shoe on him with that one.
Nice.
But I'd like to.
Yeah.
I don't think he earned it. I think he sneaks and snakes his way around everything.
Yeah, he's a sneaky guy.
Yeah. So he should be Sneaky Talk Tony Spencer, but
that's a good nickname for him.
But he just came in and pushed me off the top and threw a table with Dick Lane on it. I was already gonna put Dick Lane through a table, but I didn't want to hurt myself more than he had, you know what I mean? So I'd like to, but that's really I can only do so much.
Right. I think you can beat Tony.
I can beat. I've beaten Tony before.
You have beaten him
I've beaten him before. It's easy. So
Tony, you're in trouble.
He is. But it's really up to Bay State management.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
nice. Well, I just wanted to, at the end of that conversation, after you read it, but Maverick Wild said, nope, Tony Spencer owns that. And Dave said, that's why I said attempt, laughing out loud. Next question is from a guy you brought up a little earlier, Crispin Coles.
Oh, geez.
Which title win has personally meant the most to you?
Crispin, God. Okay, real quick about Crispin.
Yeah.
Do you know what a troll is? Like an internet troll?
Oh, yeah, I do.
That's who he is. But every so often, he hits you with like real talk and like in the feelings, and you're just like, why can't you be like this all the time?
Yeah.
But anyways, oh geez. There's a few.
Yeah.
Winning the again, going back to WAW, winning the Doomsday ladder match after my uncle passed.
Emotional time.
Yeah. Winning the Bay State after my grandmother passed. Wow. Winning the WAW team titles with my best friend, who is someone who's watched wrestling, enjoyed it, but I never thought would be in the ring with me.
Yep. Does he still wrestle today?
He off and on when I ask him to.
Okay.
So that one was not my first WAW title win. The second one, felt better. Just the circumstances were better, and I finally felt like I earned that.
Okay.
Because the circumstances of the first one was there was a heel authority figure, and I had a few rematches owed to me.
Right.
So when I lost the first time, he used one of my rematches without my consent.
Right.
I lost that one. Then I had another one. Again, without my consent, used that one.
Right.
So it took me 3 times in one night, and I didn't feel like I didn't get the choice to use them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So when I won it the second time, that felt like it was I did that.
Yeah.
You know
now,
what I mean?
did you beat a different person the second time?
Yes.
Okay.
It was Delilah the second time, I believe. And so that was that one. What that one meant a lot. And but the two those were probably the four biggest emotionally for me.
Nice.
That I can remember right now.
Okay, before we get into the name game, I've been starting to do this a little bit differently. What do you watch on TV? What's your go-to show? Like every week, you can't wait to DVR it or can't wait to watch it.
So I have the habit of finding shows either after they're done, or when they're fairly deep. I watch AEW weekly.
Yep.
I make a point to watch that. I watch New Japan after every show, but I haven't watched SmackDown in probably like 15 years.
Right.
Raw in probably 5 or 6.
Wow.
Like they just lost my interest.
Right.
But as far as like normal TV,
Yeah.
I really got into Letterkenny. It's on Hulu.
Oh, I got to check that out.
It's a Canadian show, but it's just once you figure it out.
Comedy?
Yeah.
Cool.
But once you understand what they're saying,
Right.
like they don't have that thick of an accent, but like there's some lingo that they use. Once you figure it out, it's just so funny.
That's cool.
But Bob's Burgers is another one.
That's a show. I
Brooklyn
like
Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
South Park.
Yeah.
So those ones are really the ones I kind of stick to. There's a few animes as well, but for the most part, it's those ones right there.
What about music albums?
Like I said,
it's hard because nobody really buys albums that much anymore.
Yeah, I work for Starbucks, so I get free Spotify. So I'm usually using Spotify. Right. But Breaking Benjamin is my favorite band.
Nice.
Yeah,
I love them too.
Yeah,
I've seen them.
We saw them. I think it was either earlier this year before everything went to garbage, or late last year.
Nice.
We saw them up in at the one of the outdoor arenas in northern New Hampshire.
Nice.
Them, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, Seether, Stained.
Yep. Them too. We have the same musical.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then, but at the same time, I go to T.I., Eminem, 50 Cent.
So you're broad. You like a lot of music.
Right. There's a Irish kind of folk singer. His name's Damien Rice. So when I'm in a chill mood, I kind of listen to him. Hugh Laurie?
Yes.
House?
Yep.
He has a few albums.
Oh, no kidding.
They're really good. Yeah.
Nice.
He sings on them and he plays some instruments on them too. And the only reason I found out is because Starbucks used to sell CDs.
Right.
And we sold 2 of his albums. I ended up buying one of them. So
nice.
Yeah, I like a lot of music. It's usually everything but country.
Right.
I don't know why. I can't really put my finger on it. I just can't get into country.
I have a feeling when you get older, it's going to change because I was the same way. I'm 55 now, and I actually like some country artists.
Yeah.
There's a new guy that just came. It's funny that you said the new guy earlier. Billy Strings. This kid is like unbelievable. He plays bluegrass.
Oh, okay.
So he picks like unbelievable.
Yeah.
And he's blowing up. I found him one day on YouTube. Swear to God, within a month, I've been reading things all over the place about him. But that's awesome. I got to tell you one story about Breaking Benjamin.
Go for it.
My grandson's 13. He lived with us his first 4 years. Every night when he wanted to go to bed, he would make me put him to bed. And he would make me sing him Breath.
Oh, yeah.
My brother John died August 14, 2015. We were leaving the hospice after he passed. And it came on that they were coming at the house. They were at the House of Blues that night. So I took my grandson to that show that night.
Oh, wow.
I'll never forget. It was just a hell of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a very, very cool moment.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But it's awesome. They're a great band.
Oh, they did a album, Aurora.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a lighter. There's a lot of collabs on there and like a different version of their old songs.
Oh, wow.
Or somewhere off the Tourniquet album.
I'll have to check that out.
It's a really good album. It's a different Breaking Benjamin. It is really good.
Right. You're a lot younger than me. What about Eddie Van Halen, who just passed away? Have you checked any of their music?
I have. I grew up on it because of my dad, and he's a lot of my influence on a lot of things.
Right.
So him and a few of my uncles. So yeah, I enjoyed them.
Right.
But they weren't, when I developed my own taste, they were, I would leave them on if they came on.
Yeah.
But I wasn't searching them out.
Right.
So.
Okay. that's awesome. And again, Eddie Van Halen just passed away this week.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Last week, I'm
Right.
sorry. Rest in peace. The guy's a rock god. I'm going to throw a few WAW names out there.
Go
Then
for
we'll
it.
go into other companies.
Yeah,
I
go
know you've
for
worked
whatever
for.
you want to go.
Frank Bones and Greedy. I think they were a tag team.
Yeah, they are. Frank is a nice guy.
Yep.
But he's very opinionated
Yep.
and very hard-headed.
Okay.
But when I worked with both of them, as like again, it was them versus me and my best friend.
Right.
They were for the most part easy to work with.
Yeah.
And we put on great matches.
Nice.
Greedy is in and out as far as I knew and am
Right.
aware of wrestling because of personal life, but they're fine. They're not. They can be nice guys.
Okay. Greedy went out with a friend of mine.
Oh, really?
Robin. Do you remember the
No.
girl he was seeing, Robin? And Robin, I love the girl. She's related to my sister-in-law, who I actually call my sister Dottie.
Right.
I don't know Greedy too much, but they're not together anymore, so I probably don't like you, dude. That's all. No offense, but that's just probably
they're
how
very-
it is. All right, let me ask you, Christian Sky. Did I say it wrong? Christian Sky? No, am I saying it wrong?
Well, okay. So there's Christian Sane, and then there's Kristen Sky.
Dick, it's gotta
Okay,
be.
so hold on.
So I messed it up big
okay,
time.
no, you're fine. Kristen Sky.
That's the one.
I don't know her.
Okay, so that's cool.
She was leaving as I was coming in.
Gotcha.
And the few times she's come in, it's just been pleasantries.
Okay. Michael James. Why, is that a bad one?
That's okay. So
Hammer, if you want
Okay.
to. It's all your
he's
your
not gonna
choice.
see this.
Okay.
And I don't think it's gonna get back to him. And if it does, it's fine.
Right.
He is one of the hardest hitting people I've ever been in the ring with. He's easy to work with,
Yeah.
but he's on the stiffer side. He and Delilah were seeing each other.
Yeah.
And now they're not.
Just so you know,
Nope.
I had no
You're fine.
idea that.
You're fine.
I
You're
would
fine.
have never, I wouldn't have though. I know.
When they broke up,
Yeah.
that's when shortly after Delilah and I started.
Right.
So there were a few times he laid him a little bit stiff, which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm not mad.
Right.
I don't hold any grudges with him. But I've always enjoyed his company.
Yep.
He's always been nice to me for the most part.
Right.
But I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's just made some bad choices.
Okay. And just tell me one thing, man. Though
Yeah.
when he laid him in, you didn't let him know it bothered you, right?
No.
That's
He
a good
there was
job.
one time he
Good
used to
job.
do the CM Punk knee in the corner
Yeah,
into
yeah.
the Bulldog. And he did that to me and he caught me and then pulled me out for the Bulldog.
Yeah.
And he pins me, him and the ref check on, like, are you okay? And you just hear me go, I'm awake.
Nice.
I'm here. I'm awake. So that was really, he on accident,
Yeah.
he did knock me out once. He did a, the Regal Plex?
Yes.
He did that as his finish. I wanted to take it into the corner because I like those brutal bumps.
Yep.
If you give me a kitchen sink into the corner, whatever. So I had him give me that
Right.
into the corner. I sold it. And then his submission was he'd take your arms like this and then pull you back. So he was just wrenching like he was supposed to. And my back cracked. And then that knocked me out.
Wow.
And then I just remember waking up
Right.
in the ring. And it was just like, I feel like I'm at WAW, but I feel like I just woke up.
Right.
I'm not at, I'm at wrestling. Okay. No. I need to go to the bathroom right now. I'll be right back.
All right. Now, I did not know this, so I'm going to ask you them both at the same time.
Okay.
Delilah Hayden and Trixie Hayden.
They're sisters.
Yeah.
I love
they
them.
must be, but
They're
real
they're-
life sisters?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, tell us about those.
Pains in my butts, but I love them both.
Right?
They're the Kerr family, the Hayden
Yep.
family. Sorry, the sweetest family.
Nice.
They're very welcoming and
Yep.
homely, and they're if you know them and you know them well,
Yeah.
they're with you till the end.
Nice.
They're ride or die, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, I met Delilah a few times. She's been on the
Yeah.
show, and I think she's awesome.
She is,
So,
yeah.
I really do. So, All right. One more name from WAW because he likes a lot of my stuff when I post it. Grayson Flax.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Destro, and then I was going to make a
No,
joke.
but we already talked. He was already on the show. We asked
forget
this question.
Destro can go away. Grayson Flax, I love him.
Yeah.
He's another person like Shady that I wish would expand, and he has done Proving Ground shows.
Right.
He's done a few others.
Yep.
His character is so
like his
entertaining,
character.
so entertaining. So it has to open the show because everybody else is going to talk about it if it's anywhere else.
Yeah.
He is one of the nicest guys. He's a people pleaser, and he just wants to make everybody smile. I love Grayson so much.
Nice.
I wish I saw him more than I do.
Right. Nice. He seems like a great guy. He really does.
You should you should have him on.
I definitely am going to reach out to him.
But
I am.
don't talk you could talk to him about his career, but he'll talk to him about everything else.
Everything else.
He knows so much and wants to talk about so much.
That's cool. I'll definitely have to do that. All right. We'll see Destro.
Pain in my ass.
We got to do it because
I wish I never helped him out. I wish I never taught him anything. I wish I told him to walk away. No, I love him so much. I love that I can fit him in my pocket.
Right? Yeah. He's a little guy. I didn't realize he was very little until I
he
saw
goes up to your knee.
Before.
Yeah. He goes up to your knee. But no, I've hung out with Dave and I love Dave.
I've never met him, honestly. And
he's another
constantly shared my shows.
Yeah, he's ride or
guy.
die, and he'll fight with you. He'll be right in there with going on a war.
Seems like a phenomenal
Oh yeah, he's
guy.
great. I love Dave.
How about the young guns? Hot Shot, Deshaun, and Jamie Tucker. Did you ever been in the ring with those guys?
Yeah, I've wrestled Jamie a few times.
Yeah.
I think I've been in the ring with Hot Shot. They've got the future ahead of them. They got the world of New England in front of them. And as much as New England, I think, is a black hole for wrestling, they've got the area on lock if they keep their heads above water.
Nice. You brought up one of them earlier, Chris Pyro, but how about the Hoods, Davey Cash and Chris Pyro?
I got to work with both of them separately and then together.
Right.
And I never thought it would happen.
Yeah.
I thank Todd for that because those were on Todd's shows.
Right.
But if you watch the lead-in into the Davey match, I talk about it. I watched them face the Young Bucks. I was there live, watched it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there too.
So to watch them tear the house down there, watch them tear the house down anytime I've seen them together, and then have the opportunity to step in the ring with them and learn and work with them, I couldn't. It was amazing to me.
Right. I know Davey.
They're great.
Great guys.
Oh yeah. One of the just like Baker. I felt like I knew him forever.
Yeah. Very, very warming, welcoming guys.
Oh, yeah.
How about this guy I like a lot? He's kind of like Destro, Bullet Joe, who I love to watch wrestle.
I love wrestling Bullet Joe because I like to let him wrestle with me like normal wrestling.
Good too.
He's so good.
Man, he's so good.
But he's just so fun to be around too.
Yeah.
He's got a great personality.
Nice. You brought him up earlier too, and he's coming up the week after Dick Lane, AJP. Young kid.
Yeah. Again, he's with the Young Guns as well.
Yeah.
He's got he can control New England.
Yeah.
If he keeps his head up and he keeps his wits about him.
Yeah.
And I think he's got the future of New England with the Young Guns. I think he's got it.
Sky's the limit for that.
Oh yeah,
honestly,
that group they got the world in front of them.
Absolutely. How about we'll go from smaller guys to giant guys. Kevin Giles.
I can't swear. No.
He's huge.
Okay,
man,
so
is he big?
He and I went to the same high school.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I was with him in WAW when he started, and we just instantly became friends. We've been friends ever since. He was my tag partner when we faced the Hoods. I introduced him to Beyond Wrestling. Like, I've helped him get out of his shell, and I apologize to whoever I've offended with that. But
he's been around too. He's worked for quite a few companies.
He's doing what he needs to do, and he's with APW, learning from them, and that's a great school from what I hear.
Yeah.
And he's done shows for them, and I'm so glad he's taking those steps.
Yeah. That's where I saw him.
Yeah.
And I could not believe how big he was.
Me and him have traded blow for blow so many times.
Yeah.
I would step in the ring with him gladly anytime. He's a brother.
He's like bigger than Stiff Mike's a big dude.
He's bigger than Mike. Yeah.
He's much bigger than Stiff Mike, who I actually saw Saturday.
Next time you see him, next time you see Giles, tickle him. He loves it.
Yeah, I I'm definitely not tickled. That guy's too big for me. I'm too old.
It's fun. Sorry, it's fun for me with Giles to like throw him off his game. At Beyond,
Yeah.
I got to know Eddie Edwards pretty well.
Yep.
When he was going to Beyond and whatnot.
Right.
There was one time at Beyond, my back. You've been to FET with Beyond there,
Yes.
So you know how they entered from the back corner.
Yes, yep.
So my back's to that corner. We're standing at one of the turnbuckles.
Okay.
And Giles is in front of me. My ex is right here, and him and I are just talking, and his mouth just drops. I'm like, what? Why is this happening?
Right.
I turn around and Eddie's walking to me, arms wide open like this. And I'm just like, what's up, Eddie? And I give him a hug and we talk for a little bit. I introduce, and then Eddie walks away and Giles just goes, that was Eddie Edwards. You're Derrick. Eddie. And he starts pitting. He's like, I what just happened? What did I just watch? I don't believe I just saw that. And I was just like, I like Eddie. I've given Eddie rides from the airports a few times. So
nice.
yeah, so I like Eddie.
One of the most
Nicest
talented
guy.
wrestlers in the world.
Love Eddie.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the most talented wrestlers in the world.
Hands down.
All right. We got a little 6.5 minutes.
Yeah.
How about Foxy Calvin Campbell?
He's so fun to be around. Me
I
and
like his personality.
Yeah, he's got a quiet personality too. But when he speaks, it's so fun to listen to. We had a proving ground match, and then we had a match by ourselves.
Yeah,
and both our chests were red. We just went at each other, and it was fun. I like Foxy. I've driven him. I've given him rides a few times. He's a great conversation.
Nice. How about his manager, a good friend of mine, Doc Ozone?
You forgot his middle name, Doc. Bleep Ozone.
Yeah, I try because Dick will yell at me if I say what the real name
right.
is.
No. He's another. We've said it multiple times. He's another one that he's known you his whole life.
Yeah.
Every time it's a 5-minute hug every time.
Yep.
He's a national treasure. Yeah. Doc Ozone is a gift to the world.
Yes.
The world's gonna cry when he goes. Like he's
a good man.
He lights up a room. And he doesn't even need to hit a switch.
I was going to say he lights up a room already. He lights up a room a few times. Yep. And that's one of the reasons why I love him. Because I'm the same way. How about we'll go with a couple women? Connie Mink. She hasn't been brought up too often on the show, so I figured,
when I've been around her, she's been a fun time. She seems very nice. She was on a TV show and on I think it might have been TLC or Lifetime or something like that. Yeah, it had to do with her wedding and
cool.
But she's the same person. She's a very nice person. I loved her. I briefly saw the gimmick she's doing now, but when she was doing the Golden Girls stuff, I loved it. It was great because everyone was singing. All the old people were singing the song, and the kids are just like,
"Hey, easy with the old people."
Hey, sorry. Seniors.
How about the suplex sweetheart, Isana?
Love her. She's
talented
such
girl.
a talented. She's sweet. She's a very nice person.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Shay Cash.
Shay's a nice kid or a nice guy. I shouldn't say kid, but he's always been nice to me. I've always enjoyed his company.
Yeah.
He's woken me up a few times.
Oh yeah.
But
in a good way or a bad way?
It depends. But
I'll have to ask him.
No, I like his company. He's good.
Yeah, good dude. All right, I'm just gonna look through the list real quick.
Go for it.
Mike Montero. I got to bring him up. I mean, you say
he's the ace for a reason. He's taught me a lot, and I'm privileged to work with him when I do.
Okay. Todd Graham. Got to bring him up.
He's become a very close friend to me and arguably a brother. Yeah, very outspoken. Sometimes I'm just like, that Todd Graham guy over there, he's saying some stuff. He's like, don't you work for him? But no, he's getting him on here. But honestly, he's given me so much opportunity and to help with Proving Ground as much as I have with him and to become a confidant in some aspects with him and I owe him.
He's a good
because
dude.
he's if it wasn't for him, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. Because of him and Proving Ground, I don't know what I'd be doing wrestling wise.
Okay. And like I said, he's a really good guy.
Yeah,
That's why
he
I
is.
like to have him on the show. He's very well spoken.
Yeah, he is.
He always got something to say.
Yeah, whether you like it or not, he's got
exactly.
something to say about it.
Yep. All right. I got to bring them up. The Middlesex Express.
I love both of them. They're very,
and Steve.
They're
Steven and Steven.
Steve in the morning. They're so much fun to be around. They're so much fun.
Talent. Another couple guys.
Yeah, they're talented too, I've watched them too. They when I saw them when they first started to now, it's leaps and bounds, and they're as much as they're together, they're finding their own characters, and then they've got so much potential, and they've achieved a lot too.
Yes, they have. I haven't brought him up too often on the show, and that's going to change. Timmy Kilgore. I love. I don't know if you've seen what he's been doing with incredible.
I got to do one match. I teamed with him once.
Yep.
But we've talked a lot.
Right.
And he's another one that I felt like I've known for a long time. I've learned a lot from him, and I've talked to him a lot. I really much enjoy him.
Yeah, very, very talented. I watched a couple of his videos of his entrances and stuff, and I hit him up immediately. I'm like, you got something there.
Yeah, he does.
Really do. And he can sing, man.
Right,
he really can sing.
He's got it.
All right, we'll keep this quick. Chad Epic.
I'm sorry. It's his fault.
All right.
I love him though.
Burke Beckett.
He's a fun guy to be around. I love the tea bags that he throws out. He's a good guy.
All right. Brandino. Brandino,
yeah. I've wrestled him a few times. He's a good guy. The few experiences I've had with him, I enjoyed it.
Nice. Okay. Let me just look at the list. You know something? Why don't you plug yourself? Plug your social media and all that. Seriously. SSJ Pegasus on Twitter. Derrick Conway on Instagram. SSJ Pegasus on Instagram as well. I'm in the process right now with a good friend of mine of making kind of like a vlog YouTube show kind of deal. We've done some cooking, we've done some vlogging, we've done some other stuff as well. So I'm trying to get that off the ground with everything going on. But hopefully once wrestling kicks up, we'll get going with that too. But trying to get back into a shape that I like. Yeah.
So when 2021 happens and all that starts off, I'm
ready to
go.
Nice. That's great. You have a cooking show because I do too.
Yeah.
But we haven't done one since November.
Oh, geez.
We were about to do some and then the COVID hit.
Oh, yeah.
So, but as soon as the studio opens up in Hudson, we'll be back.
Oh, yeah.
We got to do this again.
Yeah.
All right?
Anytime you want.
I want to thank you for coming on the show, man. It's been a long time.
We'll talk about better stuff than what I've done. So
that's all right. You've done great. Guys, we're out.
Thank you.
Peace.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.